All right, so I got a quick little reaction for y'all, man. Coming from the little Peep Let's Talk show, and this is my first time really seeing Six on there. You know what I'm saying? But apparently her and Kayla kind of was going at it, man. So let's get straight into it.
On this episode of the Peep Let's Talk.
I have a man. That means I don't.
You talking about your mama is the one that made you who you are, okay? Your mama is not
again.
This is
every
night.
crazy.
This is why you have a partner. Your partner is the person who has the most trust in you.
I can only
every
trust
day
one human
with
being.
with every night.
But
Not
it's
your
really
mom.
weird and toxic. So
your mom is not there.
Weird.
Like, get off your mom's titty. Like, you gotta move on. Be a woman. Like, it's
you
not
have,
about
you have a Six, you have friends.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Do you have friends?
I do have friends, Courtney.
Okay. So why do you have friends?
I don't know, Courtney. It's a friendship.
But I'm saying,
I hold a relationship.
Okay, what is the purpose of you cultivating a friendship?
Definitely not to validate if I'm wrong in my relationship. A friendship is so that we can share womanly qualities, womanly emotions.
It's like you don't have all the answers.
You can talk to your man.
So the things that you do and thinking that a simple conversation with your partner is gonna just magically fix whatever issue, I think is really unrealistic.
So it's unrealistic to think you can fix your relationship with a conversation with your partner.
People need to talk to other people other than their
The bar is in hell.
You're giving off like an unhealthy.
You are really like, so you think you can like the problem by having a conversation with your partner? Yes. Yes, I do think that.
It's
Two grown adults who are self-aware and know what's going on.
And grown adults, you can't be able to talk to other grown adults. Something is not right and unhealthy.
Yes, you can.
Something is not right and unhealthy with you if you cannot communicate with anyone else and you feel like you can only communicate with your partner, literally, and you can't talk to anybody else about how you feel. You can only talk to your partner.
Who you sleep with every night.
That's crazy.
No.
It's crazy because my guess would be that Kayla has never been married or never really been in too many like serious relationships, because Six giving you, that's marriage wisdom right there, what she giving you. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to speak about your issues with your partner and handle those situations. Period, point blank. It is what it is. If you're an adult and you can't self-examine and look at what's actually being said and what's going on and change what's wrong with you, and also tell your partner what you might need, you should be in a relationship. Period, point blank. It is what it is. So Kayla coming from the mindset of, if y'all can't get it with just y'all two, have another outside party to be able to have those conversations with, to tell something, you know what I'm saying, to let them know if they was wrong, or if, you know what I'm saying, get them advice on the situation. It kind of show you that she really don't, you know, she really haven't been in too many serious relationships to even kind of have that mindset about this. Because most people that's been in serious relationships, they know that's a big no-no. But let's continue.
Mama is not in your bed.
What?
And you know what?
Your mother. You
only
out
go
of your mother.
Other people and tell them, my man did this positive. My man did this that's good. You only come to them with the negative. That is not the perception they have.
One at a time. They can't hear us, y'all. They can't hear our arguments, y'all.
That is so unhealthy. Like, everybody want to talk to everybody except who they're with.
Again, where did you learn hearing that from?
Your mama you only come to your mama.
This like, the very first time I watched this clip was like, I think when they first dropped this joint, and it bothered my soul to listen to them just talk over each other. It bothered my soul. Let me get a verse right quick. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke. Okay, so in both of these situations with both of these sisters, they're not listening to the other person's arguments. You know what I'm saying? They not being able to fully articulate what they're trying to say before the other one start talking. Now, obviously, y'all understand that I agree more with what Six is saying. But either whether she right or not, both of them was out of order in this conversation. Both of them was out of order in this conversation, because allow the other person to get their point out before you start speaking. Understand first and then rebuke. You understand first, then you know what I'm saying, you come back with your rebuttal or what you feel like is the right thing to do. But this whole conversation was out of order. Continuing on. Verse 8. Answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. So they go for women as well. You know what I'm saying? You want to answer not before thou hast heard the cause. So you don't need to be trying to give an answer or get your thought out before the other person even finish their statement. You know what I'm saying? You should not do that. You should not do that. He said, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. This is what they've been doing the whole time. They've been interrupting each other. You can't. I remember my 4th grade teacher, Miss Franklin, used to tell us all the time, we can all sing together, but we cannot all speak together. Ain't nobody understanding nothing that y'all be saying. You know, it's like you having to really try to hone in on who talking at what point. You know what I'm saying? So Kayla kind of coming from the aspect of she feel like because her mom was married for an extended period of time that she feel like her mom, you know what I'm saying, is a go-to person in that situation. But it's the problem. Your mom is not your man. So your mama might feel a certain type of way because she gonna compare that man to your dad. That's not how that's supposed to go. If you can't speak to your significant other about these situations, you shouldn't be talking to nobody, to be honest, unless you're talking to that third party with your partner there. Because you're not gonna, like Six said, you're not gonna be telling your mama and that other party all the good things that he doing for you. You only gonna be talking about the bad. So in these type of situations where you go into a third party to talk about issues in your marriage or your relationship, all y'all got to be there. You can't just be talking to your mama by yourself because you're not gonna be telling that man's side of the story. But you know, it is what it is. This was out of order, man. These sisters out of order for this shit.
About a problem, but you want her insult. You only tell her the negative things. You don't tell her the positive things.
Crazy at this point.
No, it's not Kayla. Watch this.
Literally, no one can get a word in here.
All right, can I? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. One mic, y'all. One mic. Let me add something to the conversation. So hold on. I want to go to Logic. Go to Logic real quick.
Because literally I'm being talked over. So just hold on a second. So all I wanted to land my plane, right? All I would say is that the relationship
that plane is crashing. That plane.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Right. That plane is
This is the most.
Can we have the light on that plane?
Wait, but y'all be
That's a frontier plane.
I don't do that shit. I go low too. Like you have to stop and let other people talk.
This is a Spirit airline plane.
Every single fucking time you talk. If this is how you communicate with your partner, I know y'all don't get nothing done because this is fucking crazy.
You can't talk about how to communicate with partner.
Okay, Spirit.
All the time.
What? I'm not. Am I?
That's a fact, though. Kayla do that all the time.
Matter of fact, soul plane.
I'm not though. Just so we can clarify. So anyway, just to land my plan. My mother was successfully married and taught me to be a woman, and I feel like if anyone you're going to talk to about your marriage or your relationship, the person that taught you to be the person that you are, being the go-to that you go to have those conversations is very normal, very healthy. And I think some people who feel like they can't talk to anyone or trust anyone, they have issues. They have hope.
This is what you call gaslighting. You know what I'm saying? Like in that type of situation, you know what I'm saying? You been in a mode where you would rather speak to your significant other about y'all issues in y'all relationship. You purposefully doing that, saying that you don't have nobody you can trust to go talk about these situations, so you have an issue. No, most relationships, I even say her mom, your mama is probably not, you know what I'm saying, she probably was more back in the old days. They didn't talk about their stuff with everybody. They was very quiet. They was very in-house with their issues. They wasn't telling everybody, they wasn't broadcasting to everybody they damn problems. Your mom probably was not telling your grandmother all her business. So it's also, let me just say this before I forget. The way that you conducting yourself right here on this right here is showing your mama didn't really teach you what you think she taught you, because this is not a womanly thing to do. What you doing right here on this panel, that's not very ladylike. That's not marriage material, what you doing right here. Most dudes gonna see this live and be like, nah, I'm good on that shit. Just being honest. But I mean, I understand you trying to harp on the fact that your mom has 30 years of experience, but when you actually examine the black community, especially now, you know, so now that more truth is coming out, when we examine a lot of those old marriages, they was out of order. So you going to your mom to say, oh, she been married 30 years, so I can trust her with my relationship problems instead of going to your man. Who's to say that your mama even know what the hell she talking about? Cause just cause they been together for 30 years don't mean that your dad wasn't no simp. Just cause they been together for 30 years don't mean that your father was running that household. Just cause that doesn't mean that things have been running properly. That's what I'm saying. But you look at them older generations and you look at what's going on today, a lot of the stuff that they was doing in terms of I'm just going off how you think. Cause I done watched Kayla speak numerous times on this show. I know she don't think the way her mama thought, you know, it's in 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago. So the way your mama was moving and the way it's two totally different things. So it's kind of, that kind of don't compute. That don't compute. But that's gaslighting, because if I'm in a situation where I would rather talk to my spouse about our issues and I don't feel like I need to be speaking to nobody else about my issues with my spouse, I have an issue, that's gaslighting, bro. At the end of the day, you're trying to change people's perception of what's real. What's real is it's better for you to talk to your spouse. At the end of the day, it's better for you to talk to your spouse. Don't let nobody change your perception like that. That's what was just going on right there.
Trust issues within themselves that they can't find one person to trust.
One at a time, y'all. Hey, the mic's cracking. Family, hey. We gotta talk one at a time because they can't hear us.
I'm gonna have one thing. Kayla, you sound like you got more respect for your mama than your boyfriend.
That's a fact.
Leave your ass.
Ridiculous.
Yo, you